Welcome to Formula One.
Okay, I've got something for you. The new parts have been fitted to the car. The simulation numbers are good, so look forward to your feedback. Check out the details.
Welcome to Mexico, where we start the weekend with Friday practice. This session will give us a good indication of just who has the upper hand for qualifying tomorrow. Now then, Anthony Davidson, there's been a lot of talk over the last few weeks about track limits. How much is too much when you're cutting corners and running wide? What are your thoughts on this? And do you think we'll be seeing drivers pushing those limits this weekend?
Well, I'd be disappointed if we didn't, frankly. If race control want to clamp down on drivers wandering off the track, then it's up to them to police it. As a driver, you're being paid to get your car around the circuit as quickly as possible, don't forget. So if you're not pushing those limits, if you're ignoring the advantageous line, then you're not doing your job properly. Now, I agree that, we have these white lines there for a reason, and we do want to see those limits enforced, but for me, it's not a driver's responsibility to do that.
Hi, it's Emma. Your qualifying goals came up in the board meeting this morning. Here's what to expect.
Not long now until the lights go green for the Mexico Grand Prix qualifying. So let's get ready and see who has that pole position winning performance in them this afternoon. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
Well, tyre management is key here, specifically the rears. It's all too easy to overheat and wear the rear tyres as they're punished out of the low-speed corners. Most teams won't be able to avoid some kind of issue here, especially the teams that are running less downforce.
We don't think you'll have any trouble getting into the next session, so don't push too hard. moved you into P4. Fantastic. That was the fastest lap.
So qualifying is complete and we're all set for an exciting race tomorrow. Your top three are a McLaren, Hamilton and Max Verstappen. It's time to leave for now, but we'll be back tomorrow when the Grand Prix itself gets underway.
Hi, it's Emma here. Just wanted to let you know what the team are hoping for in the race.
Formula One may have been absent from Mexico for 23 years, but after 2015's triumphant return, it was as if we'd never been away. In Mexico, a Grand Prix is more than just a race. It's a celebration of speed and of bravery. There's nothing quite like the atmosphere in the stadium today. They'll be drowning out the cars with their noise as they make their way through on lap 1. At 2,285 metres above sea level, the thin air of the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez poses a unique challenge, not just to a driver's skill, but to the efficiency of their engines as well. 17 corners make up a lap of this 2.6-mile circuit, and you can expect incredible speeds in excess of 220 miles per hour, and overtaking too into the hard braking zones of turns 1 and turn 4. And joining me amongst the cheers of the phenomenal Mexican fans, it's Anthony Davidson, and welcome along to this historic circuit. What an occasion this is.
Yeah, it's hard to believe when you see the passion this country has for the sport that Formula One was away from Mexico for so long. It's fantastic to be here, and let's hope that the race lives up to the party atmosphere we've got going. It's a real fast track, this. We get up to Monza levels of speed down the main straight thanks to the high altitude here at over 2,000 metres above sea level. And with that comes the challenge of having less downforce in the corners. So that makes it a really demanding circuit, both for the drivers and engineers.
You've done well to put it on pole, but we've still got work to do. Trying to cover the inside line off the start.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. It's McLaren in pole position there, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Alonso, Daniel Ricciardo, and Massa, Bottas, Rosberg, Raikkonen, and Sebastian Vettel, Hülkenberg, Perez, Daniel Kvyat, and Sainz, Grosjean, Gutierrez, Rio Haryanto, and Felipe Nasser, Wehrlein, and Palmer, Kevin Magnussen, and Marcus Ericsson rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights. caution. The safety car is out. Keep an eye on the delta. We need to keep it positive to avoid a penalty. Slow down. Maintain positive delta. Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. Is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Well...
Safety car is in this lap. Safety car in this lap. You will be controlling the pace on the restart. Keep it steady until the safety car has reached the pit lane. Situation, but I don't think we have cause to move on to a different tyre yet. Okay, distance to teammate, 0.6 seconds. You've burned through a lot of fuel. Set the car to mix 1 as soon as possible. We're considering switching to an alternate strategy. Do you want to change or stick to plan A? Okay, copy that. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. It could be time to come in for a fresh set of boots. We're seeing a lot less spray at this point, and opinion on the wall is that we'll probably be okay on intermediates. We don't currently have the data for that request. Right, some information on Hamilton. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow. should stop within the next 10 minutes. Seems to be the right choice for the current conditions. I think we should pit in so we can change over. So the gap to our teammate is 2.8 seconds. Fantastic stuff. Really well done. That's first. First. we could probably get away with intermediate tyres now. You're going to find it harder and harder to keep the wets cool from here, but the inter should be easier. Some information on Hamilton. They're speeding up again, so I expect they've fixed whatever the problem was. We should start saving on fuel. Fuel mix one, mix one. Are you all right? Engine off, engine off.
Well, a great win then for the McLaren team today. Tell me, Ant, what was the key to this success?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
Our drivers are making their way out for the podium celebrations, and it's going to be McLaren picking up the winner's trophy. Congratulations to the entire team for that fantastic performance. And now let's take a look at the driver's standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Probably Carlos Sainz. You know, strong pace, good work with the strategy, just a very complete drive, I think.
And here's how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. The lead at the top comes down after a strong weekend from the challenging pack. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race. We hope to see you then. Take care.